Hello everybody, this is T2 Tutorials, and I'm very excited to show you all this contraption, which is a completely vanilla, fully programmable looping music box with a cycling 11 instrument selector. So this machine is designed to work like a real-life music box, and it can play any song provided it fits within its range of 1 octave and its loop duration of 32 beats. So I programmed in an arrangement of jingle bells for a quick demonstration of the music box in action, and sorry guys, I didn't want to be that guy that plays Christmas music in October, but it was the first thing I could think of that fits well within the constraints of the machine. So anyways, I'll go ahead and play that for you. So there it was. Like I said before, you can also change the instrument sound by pressing this button right here. And so this machine supports up to 11 different sounds, and that is most of the available ones in the game. I just chose the ones that I liked the best. And yes, you can switch the instrument during playback. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how this works, and to do that I've stripped the machine down to just its redstone, and then at the end of the video I will show you all how to program your own songs into the machine. But before I do that, I just want to mention that there will be a world download of this machine down in the description of this video if you want to check it out in more detail or program one of your own songs. On to the explanation. The music box runs primarily on two concentric piston feed tapes, which are loops of blocks that get cycled around by pistons, the outer of which is responsible for the musical notes that get played, or you could think of them as the pegs on a real-life music box, and the inner of which is responsible for changing the instrument that the note block plays. So the bulk of this wiring on the side here is purely responsible for this inner piston feed tape, and I had to get pretty creative with like shifting lines of blocks and observers to get it all working, but we'll get to that in more detail in a sec. The way the machine can read information from the outer piston feed tape and convert it into musical notes is all thanks to the wonderful mechanics of cauldrons. Cauldrons output a certain redstone signal strength through a comparator depending on the level of water inside them. What makes cauldrons special is that they are the only block like this that can also be moved by a piston. That is on the Java edition of Minecraft. Darn those sneaky bedrock buggers. Which make them perfect for this application. We can use this mechanic in conjunction with note blocks and a piston feed tape so that every time a cauldron filled with water gets cycled past these comparators, the corresponding note will be played. This entire process is driven by this 8-tick clock designed by Ilmango and is activated by this playback lever up here. So this is basically the engine of the entire machine, and this is the fastest that this kind of piston feed tape can operate. Onto the instrument selector feed tape. This one is considerably more complicated because it has to first retract the blocks under the note blocks, then cycle the tape, then re-extend the next set of blocks under the note blocks. The sound played by the note blocks depends on the type of block they rest on. The hardest part about designing this feed tape was wiring this bottom piston here, because you can't put any redstone or repeaters or anything on the bottom row of cauldrons. So the only way I could think of doing it was having a line of blocks that shifts back and forth from this piston and this torch, which is connected to the wiring for the rest of the tape, which will send an observer output into each and every one of those pistons. Oh yeah, this little bit of wiring here is responsible for playing a note each time you swap instruments, so that way you get a little bit of audio feedback to let you know that it worked. Okay guys, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. How do you program your own songs into the machine? So it's really simple. All you have to do is place a bucket of water into the cauldron corresponding to the note you want on a given beat. So when you do that, you'll get an audio response from the note block corresponding to that note, and you can have as many notes in a single beat as you want. So you can have things like chords, harmony, and that sort of business. So once you're satisfied with the notes you have in one beat, you want to click this last button, which is the single cycle, and that will move all of the cauldrons down to the next beat, and then you can place the notes you want for that beat, next cycle, and keep going all the way through until you have a finished piece. Also, if there's a note you don't like, you can simply use an empty bucket and take it right back out. One last thing, this grid here is to help with rhythm and knowing where you are in the music. So the green would be the beginning of the song, and then the dark gray is every 4 beats, or a measure if you're in 4/4 time. And then the medium gray is the downbeats, and the white is the upbeats. So go ahead and use that. Alright, so with that, the only thing left to do is to hit your playback lever and enjoy the music you just made. Alright, so that was my Redstone music box. Like I mentioned earlier, there will be a world download of this machine in the description of this video if you want to make your own songs or just check out the contraption for yourself. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This video took me a while to make, so please consider liking if you liked, and if you didn't, let me know that as well, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. As always, feel free to comment any suggestions for future videos. I'm very open to ideas. Anyways guys, this has been T2, and that's a wrap. Have a great day.